क्या होगा आज? So, hello and namaste to all of you. This is Javin Shalu Singh from Department of Physiotherapy and Diagnosis from Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. So, for today, I'll be telling you about the chemical examination of urine. So in past sections, I've told you about the physical examination of urine, and now for today's section, I'll tell you there are various parameters that come under the chemical examination of urine. So we check for acidity and basicity. We check for fats, nitrogens, stercobilinogen, coproporphyrin, occult blood, and reducing substances. So most commonly used chemical examination of stool is pH, so occult blood and your reducing substances. Now, normally, let's talk about fats. So normally up to 20% of total solids are present, and liquids are measured as fatty acids, and 2.5 grams to 2.5 to 2 to 5 grams of fats of per 24 hours are can be found in your stool, and known dietary intake and timed stool collection has to be done, and you have to take 100 grams of fat daily, and 3 day stool collection, and more than 6 grams per day is abnormal. Now, quantitative or semi-quantitative methods that can be adopted for the chemical examination of stool can be a gravimetric method, your isotopic techniques, or for radioisotopes, your electrical capacitance method, your titrimetric method of Van de Kumar, and nextly, for titrimetric method, you have to boil your stool with alcohol potassium hydroxide to convert fats and fatty acids into soap. Then you cool it, and now HCl is added to convert soap to fatty acids. Now these fatty acids are extracted with petroleum ether, and aliquot is evaporated and taken up in your neutral alcohol. Now you have to titrate it with sodium hydroxide, and the amount of fats are calculated as fatty acids. Now, nextly, there is electrical capacitance method. So fecal suspension is extracted with solvent, especially with chlorinated benzene, and extract is filtered. Now, electrical capacitance is measured and compared with standard of trioleum and similarly treated. Now, there is a next method that is done for the examination of urine can be your for interpretation, the fecal fat increase in enteritis and pancreatic disease, which can be lack of lipase, surgical removal of a section of intestine. So there can be malabsorption of syndrome, chronic pancreatic disease. So in that case, more than 10 grams per 24 hours of stool is present, and neutral fats will increase, and use of rectal suppositories, and for ingestion during the ingestion of castor oil or mineral oil, and ingestion of dietic low calorie mayonnaise and tropical sprue. Now, nitrogen varies with the amount and nature of diet, and normal is 1 to 1.5 grams per day, and uh, nitrogen can be increased in case of azoturia and pancreatic acyluria and pancreatogenous fatty diarrhea and idiopathic steatoria. Now, stercobilinogen, it is normal is up to from 40 to 280 mgs per day, and averages 150 mg per day, and it is dependent on the amount of bilirubin passing to intestine, which can be in the case of your jaundice. Now, coproporphyrin, normal is 300 to 1100 mgs per day. In type 1, 70% of coproporphyrin is present. In type 3, 10 to 30% of coproporphyrin is present. So abnormally increased in case of congenital porphyria and abnormally decreased in liver diseases like cirrhosis, hepatitis, passive venous congestion, metastatic carcinoma in liver. Now, occult blood. So to detect blood which is present in amount or form or not visible macroscopically. So normally occult blood is not present. So abnormal presence in condition of occult hemorrhage in case of GID tract. It can be tested by a benzidine test, Guaic test, and orthotolidine test, and most commonly used in case of benzidine test. Uh, and benzidine, in case of benzidine test, 4 grams of benzidine in 100 ml of glacial acetic acid is used. It is emulsified with pea-sized bit of pieces in 5 ml of water, and we have to mix 1 ml of emulsion and 1 ml of reagent in test tube, and we have to add several drops of 35 H2O2, and blue color indicates the positive reaction in case of our benzidine test. Now, if for interpretation, if trace amount is present, then faint blue color after 1 minute can be found. For if it you have to grade it 1 positive, then it has to be definitely blue green slowly. Now if it's 2 plus, then it is green blue rapidly. If it's 3 plus, then blue almost immediately. And if it's 4 plus, then dark blue color is seen immediately. Now, for Guaic test, it is less sensitive, and with the loss of 20 to 30 ml of blood, all tests will be positive. And Guaic reagent, it consists of 1 gram of Guaic in 5 ml of 95% ethanol, and we have to make a small smear of pieces on the filter paper and add 2 to 3 drops of gum Guaic solution plus 2 to 3 drops of glacial acetic acid and 2 to 3 drops of 3% H2O2. Now, the result of Guaic test can be seen as for trace amount, faint blue-green color will be seen in 1 minute. If you have to grade it 1 plus, then it has to be light blue slowly. If you grade it 2 plus, then it has to be clear blue rapidly. If you have to grade it 3 plus, then deep blue almost immediately. If you have to grade it 4 plus, then it has to be deep blue immediately. Now, for the case of orthotolidine test, it has to be intermediate sensitive. It has to be showing intermediate sensitivity, and the smear, you have to smear the stool on a filter paper with an applicator and pipette a few drops of reagent onto the filter paper, and the reagent has to be orthotolidine barium peroxide 200 mg plus glacial acetic acid 5 ml. And after 30 seconds of examination, you'll see check for blue color, and blue green color will be seen within 30 seconds, which will mean positive. Now, this interpretation for this orthotolidine test can be as in case of your gastric, it can be seen in case of your color can be seen, positive colors can be seen in case of a gastric disease. Examine in example in case of your chronic ulcer, and in case of your malignancy. In case of your intestinal diseases, example in dysentery, typhoid fever, and carcinoma. And it can also be, the color can also be seen in case of your hemorrhoids and during instrumentation. Now, the fecal reducing substance test, it is to diagnose your lactose intolerance, and sample of 5 gram of stool is taken, and the sample needs to be delivered to the laboratory as soon as possible, and most preferably within your 1 hour, and cause lactose in stool will normally be broken down by chemical processes within 2 to 4 hours after the specimen is produced. Now, for interpretation for this test is that in case of negative or trace amounts, less than 0.225 grams per DL can be present. If suspicious or or grade 1, the amount has to be 0.25 to 0.5 grams per DL. If it's abnormal, then grade 2 to 4 is given, and the amount is more than 0.5 grams per day. And if found in carbohydrate malabsorption, it can be found in carbohydrate malabsorption, and in case of tropical sprue. Now, for microscopic examination, um, there there is need for the microscopic examinations for the diagnosis of microscopic elements. So trophozoites and its movements are better seen in unstained preparations of your uh, uh, better unstained preparations of a fresh material, and cystic forms and nuclear characters are better seen in case of stained preparations of iodine, and glycogen mass, which is stained with iodine, and chromatid bars and unstained preparations. So both stained and unstained materials are to be prepared. Now, nextly, uh, why do we need to do the fecal examination or for concentration methods? Now, concentration procedure is performed mainly to separate the parasites from fecal debris, and the concentration procedure are not commonly increased in the number of parasites in sediment, but it also unmasks them, making them more visible by removing organic and inorganic debris. Now, there is a need for the concentration technique. So to see whether treatment of parasite is successful, to find what is basically the need for concentration technique is to find ova of S. mansoni or tinea if few or other ova and cyst are not seen in your routine examination, and also to examine stool specimens from patients who do not come from an area where a particular parasite is found. So, nextly, stool examination or can be in case of a scanty infection or so two types of concentration techniques can be used. Firstly, sedimentation or flotation. So in sedimentation, there can be heavy eggs, that is ascaris eggs can be seen, or operculated eggs from trematodes can be seen, or larvae, or cysts can be seen on upon sedimentation. And if there is flotation, it can be case of your non-operculated eggs, your trematodes or cystode or nematode or other cysts. Now, what is this flotation technique basically? So it uses solutions which have a higher specific gravity, that is in case of zinc sulfate and Shearer's sugar, then the organisms to be floated so that the organisms rise to the top and debris sink to the bottom. Now, what is the advantage of this technique? It is to produce a cleaner material than the sedimentation technique, and disadvantages lies in the saying that walls of eggs and cysts will often collapse, and they will hinder the identification, and some parasite eggs, they will not float. Now, further, in sedimentation technique, it uses solution of lower specific gravity than the parasitic organisms, and it can be the formalin ethyl acetate technique, and it can be recommended for general diagnostic laboratories due to easy to perform and less prone to technical errors. And now, Sedimentation, in sedimentation techniques, we mix a small piece of stool with 10 ml of water or saline in a tube or bottle, and then we sieve the suspension into a breaker through a strainer with small holes. Then we pour the contents into a centrifuge tube and centrifuge it at 2000 to 3000 RPMs for 1 minute and pour off the supernatant part. Then we resuspend the deposit in clean water and add enough water to fill the tube. Then we mix well and centrifuge. Then we pour off the supernatant part and then resuspend in zinc sulfate solution and fill the tube with the solution. Then we centrifuge it at high speed for 1 minute and transfer the contents from the surface of the tube to a slide using a bacteriological wire loop, and add a small drops of saline and mix and cover with a cover slip and examine it under 10x and 40x lens objectives. Now, stool examination, there are various staining methods for the microscopic examination. So number one is your wet mount method, and second can be your permanent preparations. So in wet mount method, normal saline, iodine solution, buffered methylene blue solution, and eosin solution can be used. And in case of your permanent preparations, your Scodin's fluid or Hayden-Haynes hematoxylin method and trichome stain can be used. Now, staining can be done to check for various types of peripheral cells or um, different types of cells basically. So, or casts and crystals and all. And these uh, one of the easiest method is your wet mount method. So about these methods I'll be discussing in next section, and until then you can focus on what are these methods, basically your wet mount method and your basically your permanent preparation methods. And basically the regular method that we are using in our labs is our wet mount method, and rest permanent preparations are basically used in later cases when wet mount methods can't be worked up. So now I'll be discussing your these staining techniques in your next section. And until then, if you have any doubts regarding the physical examination of stool, which I have told in your told you in your previous sections, or regarding the chemical examinations of you stool, which I have told you today, so read them properly and you can discuss with me your doubts or any queries. And until then, just take care and goodbye.